Hello guys and welcome back. Okay, today we're going to be taking a look at the Master System up against the arcade. Now, the Master System is an 8-bit machine, and a lot of the time you'd have thought it doesn't stand a chance of creating arcade quality graphics or comparing it to the arcade. So today I'm going to be having a look at 5 games and see how well they compare to the arcade, of course. Now, remember, it is an 8-bit machine, but I think it really did well. And a lot of these games stand up, and you can see the Master System really tries hard. So, just 5 games compared to the arcade. Let's take a look. Okay, first up we have got Altered Beast. Now, Altered Beast was a great, amazing game. A lot of people probably disagree with this in the arcade. But as you can see with the Master System, a lot of people don't like this one. I think it tries really hard. Now, your main sprite, very large, quite animated. The actual baddies itself explode pretty well. Okay, it's just like a sprite breakdown. The dogs in there aren't that large compared to the arcade. And the background colours, I think it does well. You know, it doesn't do great compared to if you look at him at the arcade, but I think it holds up pretty well. 16 colours on the screen from the Master System compared to the arcade. Now, we know that the sound is not going to be, it's going to be plinky, but the Beast Mode as well. Beast Mode, not as good, but I think it still holds up well. So, let's have a listen to the sound. Next up, I've chosen Dynamite Dorks. Now, Dynamite Dorks was System 16 in the arcade, and very cartoony, very bright, and very colourful big sprites. Now, straight away, you can see with the Master System, the main sprite is kept a good size, whereas, once again, the enemies have taken a big shrink to it. Now, the backgrounds, not so bad, a good use of colours. Bear in mind, we're talking about an 8-bit machine here compared to the arcade. I think it holds up really well. You know, well animated, good use of colours, and everything is almost pretty much there. The moment I found out this had actually come out for the Master System, I had to get myself a copy because I did enjoy it in the arcade, and it does transfer over when you're playing it on the Master System. You know, let's actually listen to the sound and see how close it is. Next up, we have got Outrun. Now, yeah, Outrun was a super scaler in the arcade. It was going to be very difficult for an 8-bit machine to pull this off. And as you can see, side by side, I don't think it did that bad a job at all. I mean, it still held up pretty well today. No, it's not as good. We can see that. It's got great use of the road colours. Not bad main sprite for your car as well. Now, it does run pretty smoothly. It's not that choppy. And when it comes to the cars coming towards you closer, they are scaled up. Well, not scaled up. They're the larger sprite instead of scaling. I think the Master System really held up. About once again, like I say, remember this is an 8-bit machine. So let's have a listen to the sound and see how close it is. Next up, we have got RType. Now, RType was an awesome shoot 'em up in the arcade, and they brought it to the Master System, and I think this is probably one of the best home conversions that the Master System ever did. This still holds up pretty well, and it was absolutely brilliant. Your main sprite, it looks very close indeed. Your backgrounds, or should we say the foregrounds, does hold up very well. All the sprites are pretty much there. Once again, not as large as they would be in the arcade, but as you can see there, great use of colour as well. All the power-ups are there, and it does really well. And as you see the background popping in, you'll see it in a minute with the RType in the arcade. It holds up pretty well. There we go, you see. Now, I do find this one to be a very, very, very good conversion indeed. Like I say, probably one of the best good conversions indeed. Now, let's have a listen to the sound and see how close it is. And last up, we have got Space Area, another super scaler in the arcade. This is going to be nigh on impossible to bring it to an 8-bit machine and still do well. And yet I think the Master System did a very good job indeed. It wasn't going to scale the sprites to be able to keep up with it. Pretty much everything's still there. All the patterns from the arcade are still there. The floor is slightly different, more checkered to give you that sense of like a rail shooter. You're moving into the foreground, and the baddies come in there well. They still hold up pretty well, and a lot of things are are still there. As you can see, the 3 bosses still come in there, or your 3 sort of pods they come in, should we say? And I think this did a great job. Now, let's have a listen to the sound and see how it holds up. So guys, there you have it, the Master System compared to the arcade. Me personally, I think it holds up well. Back then, when all you've got is the 8-bit machine Master System, especially over here in the UK, I think it did a fantastic job, and I really, can't complain about these games. Yet there were limitations, and it really pushed the Master System to its limits. And I find a lot of them did a very good job and still hold up the charm of the arcade. So there we go, 5 games compared Master System compared to the arcade. Let me know your thoughts, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below, leave a like if you do like the video, that's great. So guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully another channel or another video coming out of Master System vs the Arcade Part 2. There are several to choose from, so thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you soon.